Okay guys, so I had a little meeting this morning with a potential manager slash management. So I ended up getting ready a little bit later than intended. I feel like I'm more productive when I actually physically get ready, like I get dressed and I do a little bit of makeup. Like if I wear really comfy clothes, no makeup, I will literally go right over to that bed over there and not do any work. So this keeps me a little bit more accountable and deters myself from doing that. But anyway, yes, I had a little bit of a meeting. I am still on the fence of whether or not I want to take on management. I've had really awful experiences in the past. This one actually seems like it has potential. Like I actually kind of like the terms. There's a trial period, and even during the trial period, I can cancel at any time. So it's definitely something I'm considering, because you would honestly think I would get faster at doing videos, but I feel like I've gotten a lot slower just because I have become so much more nitpicky, and I'm always learning something new or just gaining more inspiration from others that I want to implement into my own videos. So yeah, I just feel like with YouTube, the options are endless where you want to take your video. Anyway, I'm still on the fence about that, but that was what this little meeting in the morning was. I also checked out some of my emails. I don't really respond to emails in the morning because if there's some pending work that needs to be submitted, I like to do that first and then like send out the emails towards the end of the day. If you guys have watched my more how-to videos on how I edit and how I vlog, I made a little bit of a YouTube guide that walks you through my entire process essentially. And typically how I go about planning them, I first write down any ideas that I have on my phone, which I can access at any time. And then I actually like to write out the plan on just like a simple notebook. I find that this really helps me to be the most creative and imaginative. There's nothing better than like pen and paper that just gets the creativity flowing, I feel like. And then typically I'll take whatever I have in here and then organize it into Milanote. Milanote is basically my favorite creative project slash digital planning platform. And if you guys are interested on my particular planning template, I will have it linked down below. It is a part of the full guide that I made. So if you want more of like a step-by-step tutorial on how I approach every single one of my YouTube videos, then I definitely check out the full guide because you'll get access to the template as well. But if you just want to get started, I do have the standalone template by itself if you guys want to check that out. But since this is going to be quite a busy month in November, I am working with 3 total brands, and for me that's kind of a lot because I don't really upload every single week, so I just know I'm gonna have to be really on top of it this month. So I figured I'd get a little bit of a head start. I think I have a good idea of like what I want to include and what direction I want to take these videos. So that is what I'm going to do for maybe the next hour or so. I think future Danny will definitely appreciate the work we're getting done right now. I cannot decide how I want to start this video. Typically, I do a little bit of a trailer sequence, as you guys know, but I feel like for this type of video, it might be a little bit easier to get started. But then it's like fall themed, so I'm like, should I have a fall themed trailer? I feel like that would be fun. I think I'm just gonna write down maybe a few options that I can give myself. But I feel like because it's gonna be a very heavy talking video, I'm probably better off just jumping right in. Okay guys, so I just finished planning out all of my YouTube content for the month of November, which is so exciting that I don't even have to really think about planning for basically the entire month. But the next thing that I want to sit down and plan is actually my short form content. Pretty much up to this point and for a majority of this year, I've been so inconsistent with posting short form content. I've tried so many times to get back into it, to start new series, and just yeah, every single one has been an absolute fail. Fail in the sense that I just could not keep up with it. And I know there's like a ton of you guys who have subscribed from my ceramics content, and I'm so bummed that I just have not been able to keep up with that. That's still something on my mind that I want to continue to do. For now, I feel like I just need something a little bit more manageable so I can build myself back up to that. So something that I was thinking is actually repurposing my YouTube content over into the short form space, and I was motivated or inspired to do this after my most recent upload where I walked you guys through my workspace and did a whole desk revamp and redesign and rebuild. Because as I was going through that video, I saw so many little pockets where I was like, you know, I could definitely condense this section into a short form piece, and I feel like it would work well. So that's basically my plan going into the month of November. So hopefully I can stick with it. I've already started plotting this out, but something that actually came at the most perfect time is this platform called Opus Clip AI, who is kindly sponsoring this portion of the video. So if you guys haven't heard of Opus Clip before, they are basically an AI-powered video editor that will turn your long-form footage or your YouTube video into shareable short-form clips automatically. If you want it to be as straightforward and simple as possible, you can link your live YouTube video and it will create those clips for you. Personally, what I like to do, since I do add a lot of text on my actual YouTube videos, I prefer to upload a clean version of my final video to Opus Clip and have it break up my clips that way. And since it's an AI, you can actually prompt it, and what I tend to write is for it to take out my best talking sections. I feel like that's the most tedious thing to kind of sift through on your own. So it's just really nice that Opus Clip can do it completely for me. If you want to take it even further and be completely automated, you can create your own workflow automation where you can auto import, auto edit, and even schedule your clips to post automatically across platforms, which just makes it so much easier to stay consistent everywhere. And as we all know, AI is not perfect, so if you do need to tweak anything, you have complete manual control if you want to edit anything that it outputs. For me personally, one of my biggest challenges in even filming short form content is the fact that I tend to shoot everything horizontally, obviously for YouTube. But a really nice feature with Opus Clip AI is you can create your own brand templates, and they have this feature called Reframe Anything 2.0, which will automatically track your subject so that you're always in frame. I also have mine set to fill the frame completely so that any horizontal footage that I put in there, it will be in that perfect vertical format. They actually are free to start using if you guys want to test them out, but they are running a cyber deal for the month of November where they're offering 65% off their annual plan. So if you guys are interested in checking out Opus Clip, then make sure to check out the link in my description box below. Okay guys, it is about 5:20 p.m. and I'm pretty much done planning out all of my work stuff. I feel pretty good about this upcoming month in November. Hopefully everything goes to plan, but you know, knowing me, nothing ever goes to plan, so we'll just have to see about that. But I figured now that we're kind of off hours that I would actually walk you guys through some more personal planning. Honestly, this is probably gonna be a little bit more of a crazy notebook tour. I feel like similarly, like when you're in school and you have like a math notebook, a reading notebook, a science notebook, to me, it's just like a little bit easier to manage. And it's funny to think that all that stuff that you just kind of grew up doing, you just do it in a more adult way when you get older. But anyway, starting with this one is actually not a notebook, it's actually a notepad. This one is the MD paper letter pad, horizontal ruled, if you guys were curious. Yeah, it pretty much looks like this, and you can very easily just tear off this top sheet. And what I have been kind of using this for is actually listing out my priorities for the week. I'll typically try to stick to a number between 3 and 5. I think on average, I want it to be between 3 and 4 because sometimes 5 is quite a lot. And these aren't like mini priorities, like these are big priorities that I need to get done throughout the week. And if any of you guys happen to watch my desk tour, I actually have been placing this on that wooden block on my desk. I just had this genius idea this past week where I was like, you know, it'd be really nice if I could just see these at all times just to remind myself throughout the week that these things need to get done. I actually have finished quite a few things of the priorities as of this video because this week was going to be a very heavy planning week. But yeah, I absolutely love this little guy. I know I wasn't supposed to be talking about work in this section, but this one kind of blends a mix of the two. The priorities for the week are generally more work-related stuff, and I do also list important dates of the week, which I feel like relates a little bit more to organizing my personal life. So these next two notebooks are actually related a little bit more to church. So this smaller one is generally where I write all my notes from like Sunday sermon, Bible studies. And yeah, I actually have filled out 3 of these notebooks. I have this little mini dream of just like collecting all of my notebooks that I've taken and just having a whole library full of them. I don't know, I feel like that would be really, really cool. Also, just wanted to mention that all of these notebooks are from Midori. I did buy a cover for them because they're completely made out of paper, even the covers, so it can get dirty quite quickly. But this one is their A5 size and the graph paper version. But a big reason why I really love ordering this Midori one is because they give you these really cute little stickers that you can put on top of every single notebook, where you can put like what volume of notebook you're on. So this one is my 3rd one, like I mentioned before. A start date and a finish date. I actually started this one back in July. I'm almost done, but just crazy how fast time flies. And then I think this is really cute, but it says from the library of, and I just wrote my name, obviously, Danilee. And then they just give you an empty space right here to kind of write whatever you want, probably like the subject of the notebook or whatever. But something I've been doing is I'll write like a Bible verse that I feel like is really speaking to me the moment that I'm starting a new notebook. And it's been really cool just seeing the progression of my faith in that really subtle way. This one that I have written right here is Ezekiel 36:25-28. I love this whole notebook series so much. It's seriously so precious to me. This larger notebook is actually a little bit new to my whole notebook collection. I'm making this one for my scripture or like my Bible readings. I started getting discipled for like the very first time in the beginning of this year. It was so great, so transforming. I'm still being discipled, but something that I was really lacking on was just my own scripture readings and my own personal Bible study. I was reading a lot of great books and just expositions of the Bible, but I was really lacking on actually reading the Bible by itself. So a few months back, I got myself a really in-depth study Bible just to help me as I was reading. But I kind of felt like I was still just reading through without processing and meditating on the things that I was reading. But basically, my plan for this notebook and what I've been doing, I want to say for like the past 2 weeks or so, is I just committed to reading a small book in the New Testament for like the next 30 days. So I ended up choosing 1 John, and I just have this little tracker here for me to check off when I did it. I unfortunately have skipped a few days here and there, but I'm trying to be more focused about like actually finishing it, even if I don't get it perfectly done every single day. And then I feel like Old Testament, you can kind of read it just chronologically. So I've been really bad about it, but I have this Old Testament reading log on the other side where I will log basically where I'm at. I don't have as like structured of a plan for that. I'm still figuring it out. But yeah, it's just been so good. I've been taking so many notes. I've been trying to fill out like 1 page per session that I do, and I kind of go in between like what I'm reading and the notes I take, and I feel like it's really helping me absorb so much better, because by the time I'm like on the 5th or like the 6th day, I will have read like my first notes like 5 times at that point. It's kind of the plan that I've been sticking to. I just feel like the Bible is something that's going to take the rest of my life to really absorb. So I want to be like efficient and effective in the way that I'm like reading it. And I just feel like this method works really well. I hope that makes sense. And like my other notebook series, I feel like it'll be really cool to look back on these and, you know, just pick one up and start reviewing and studying and just seeing all the notes that I took during that time period. This is the last little notebook that I want to walk through with you guys. This one is actually my ceramics notebook. I know a lot of you guys actually subscribed from my short form ceramics content, which I'm so grateful. And I just feel so guilty because I've been wanting to make more things, but I've just been so busy to the point that I haven't been really spending a lot of time in the ceramics studio. I have a different instructor for this class, and he's a lot more hands-off, kind of lets me do whatever I want, versus the other class that I took was a little bit more structured, where it wasn't like he necessarily told us exactly what to make, but there were very strict guidelines. Like for my Miss Moonjar, if you guys, you know, remember her, guidelines for that was literally to make it a certain height, and the vessel essentially had to either have a belly or some kind of waist. So that's basically how I landed on making a moonjar. Fortunately, this class has been a little bit more rough. It's just so open-ended that I'm really struggling to figure out exactly what I want to make. And no hate to my instructor, but I feel like he does very specific things in ceramics versus my other instructor. Like, he just loves ceramics, knew everything about it. So anytime I came to him with a problem, he would give me like 3 different solutions and then let me decide what direction I wanted to take it, which was just really collaborative. And looking back, I think it really did help me grow so much in learning more about ceramics and like where you can take things and how you can fix things, and just really broadened my perspective on ceramics in general. I literally only have about a month and a half left of class, which, if you understand ceramics and know anything about it, that's actually not a lot of time. So I'm very determined, and I think this is how I'm gonna finish out the rest of this video. But I just want to take some time, draw, and just plan out some ceramic pieces that I want to make for the rest of the semester. I am working on a few things which I will show you guys in an upcoming video, but I'm just so sad and disappointed in myself because I just haven't taken advantage of the fact that I've had literally 3.5 months to make whatever I want. I don't want to give up. I really do enjoy it. I feel like I really want it to be a bigger aspect to my channel. So hopefully after we plan a few pieces out, that will be a lot better.